Okay, hey, welcome Team Thrive. So excited for the group that's been able to gather with us today. We're going to go through some things that I think will really help you get set up for a strong January. You know, we can think December doesn't matter, it's end of the year, we get caught up in our own holiday festivities. Let's see, but we don't want to do that. Hang on, I want to put this on a different view here. Nope, that's what I want. Okay, just double checking. We want to make sure we stay engaged because you guys, what is January, February, March, and April? Resolution time, right? People are going to be on a mission and we want them to think of us. We want them to think of health coaching. We want them to think of healthy lifestyle, not just go to Weight Watchers or just go do some crazy diet that they find online. We want them to think of us. We want to stay super engaged. So we have a really great lineup planned for today. Bill Fisher will be able to speak on his topic. So we've asked Carla to grab that topic and add a couple minutes. Bill had an emergency and wasn't able to join us, but the rest of us are ready to go. So you guys all ready? Do you guys know how to put a number in the chat? Activate your screen and in the chat. If you're ready to go, put a 1 in there. Let's talk. Talk with numbers. They're all going, where is the chat? Do you see the chat? Shelly, do you see it? Okay. I'm not seeing any numbers in there. Oh, well, we'll keep moving along. So our first topic today, we're going to have Doug kick us off with goal setting. What do we want to accomplish? Are you ready, Doug?
I'm ready. Fantastic. Well, I'm going to try to do what I usually can spend anywhere from 1 hour to half a day on, because this is one of my favorite topics. I'm going to try to do this I had 3 minutes. I think I got 5 now. So I'm going to do a quick screen share and away we go. Okay. So anyway, I know everybody here knows all about goals, but I was asked to talk a little bit about how what we do now in December affects January and beyond. And so it's kind of a short-term focus for long-term results. And one of the things we know, quite a few of you recently have done the DISC personality test. And in the DISC personality test, there's no wrong personality. There's no wrong personality type. Everybody has strengths and everybody has weaknesses. The high Ds will have a tendency to disagree with that part that I just said, where the high Is just want to have a party about it. The S's are just the lovable ones that we all love, and the C's are going to have to think about it just a little bit more. Anyway, all to say that really we can approach it 2 ways. Some of you will approach it as goal setting, and some will approach it as problem solving, but the principles are the same. So I don't care, nor does it really matter for you if you focus on one or the other. Either one can work. And really when we're talking short term, what we're wanting to focus on now is December. Midterm, we're kind of looking at a quarter. Long term, we're looking at a year or longer. And I thought this graphic was pretty good because in terms of short term goals, you don't have to come in and really do a progress review in detail. Those of you that have now moved beyond senior coach, you're doing a map. Your map is your guide and kind of gets you through it. If you're not a senior coach yet, you're focused on acquiring those first 5 clients and you're getting worked with your mentor coach on how to accomplish that in some very doable steps. So I want to take a look as well at the principles of momentum. And as we're focusing on December, December's not the easiest month. It's a fact. It's not the easiest month in the athletic club industry for getting new memberships, and it's not the easiest time for acquiring new clients as well. But it does build, and you can acquire clients, and we do acquire memberships in December. And believe it or not, it's not our lowest time of the month. And we seem to run of the year, we seem to run very parallel at athletic clubs as what we do in health coaching, because people join clubs for the same reason that they want to engage with you in the program, and that's because they want to lose weight or improve their health on weight-related concerns. So December, just think of it, it's like the start of a snowball. You know, that takes more work and more energy to get that going. But as you move then through January, February, March, it builds in size and power, and you will experience that by doing those actions now. So there's a promise to you, and I trust that you're going to experience that. Here's a couple things to consider is When we look as a client, many of you are still clients. All of us actually as coaches should be clients. We're always working on our health. Some of us are still working on weight loss. Others of us maybe should. I'm just kidding. A few of us are maybe going to have to do a quick trim. There you go. I see Debbie's got her fuelings there ready to go. But even if you think there, we have really 6 stages of our steps, if you will, of our program from preparing for the journey. That's what we're really even talking about as we move into January. Reaching a healthy weight, transition to eating healthy, and so forth, heading clear to optimizing health and living hopefully then a longer and happier, more fulfilled life. Well, when we work with a client, or when you were a client, you remember you prepared, then the first and most critical step is getting into fat burn. Then you have that first week, and remember the celebration call. That's one of the things that we just love doing, is celebrating on that first week of program. We got to celebrate with somebody that's on the line with their father here this last week. It was just absolutely touching and such a joy. And then the real great thing is heading to a goal, or in some cases, solving a problem, which is heading them to a preferred future. And starting right and consistently, and with consistent action, builds and sustains a momentum. So those are some principles that we're going to be engaging in and bringing into some of the discussions tonight. Another thing to think about is in terms of the compensation plan. And the compensation plan is really structured for short-term, medium-term, and long-term goals. As you know, the first step was to achieve your CAB. Not all of us did that. So a lot of us, like myself, we took a little bit longer, and we were focusing on becoming a senior coach. That's acquiring 5 clients and a minimum volume of $1,200. And then from there, you can see each step builds momentum, and also the actions will lead to that. Also, even what I love about the compensation plan is it's set up the way I think in terms of goals from short-term, medium-term, and long-term, where you've got your monthly, you have a quarterly, and then I always kind of look back and think in terms of yearly as well, because that's what my tax accountant and the IRS wants to focus on. And we get advancement levels that reward competency and consistency. So it's not just about income, obviously. It's about how many people can we help, how much better can we get at our coaching skills. They were talking about that tonight. And then how much that will lead us towards that future. So as we think about what we're going to talk about the rest of the night, and you heard this even earlier this evening, one of the main Optavia quotes is lead from the future. In other words, look to that future, lead in that structure, but act in the now, take action right now. And that's all I got to share.
That's great. Thanks for sharing that, Doug. And yep, the compensation really does go right along with what you're talking about there. There's tremendous opportunity. It just keeps growing for us. Okay, so let's see. Who do we have next here? Carla, you want to unmute yourself and share with us a little bit here on how to grow our influence and grow our customer base, our client base.
Yeah, thank you. So, I have a couple of key business points that I wanted to talk about today. First, we always talk about the 3x3x3, and I'm sure we get sick of hearing that term, but I want you to think about it from maybe this new perspective. So you're going to start hearing a lot of us talk about becoming a person of interest. And Coach Burke, who was at Intentionality Summit, really hit hard on this. He's like, he says, become famous through action. And the ingredients of a person of interest. So when you post and you are, Facebook messaging, really think about this. The ingredients are, you're knowledgeable, you have skill, you have desire. So you're knowledgeable in an area that's particular to you. You have a deep network. So that's why we add those 3 friends every single day, right? We're trying to add 3 new friends. Connectivity, you're connecting with people. Likability, that's why we stay away from politics, right? There's always someone on either side of that. So, and a person of interest is somebody who is very confident and puts out effort. And another thing he said that stuck with me is a person of interest has a free prize. And it's like, what? And but it's something that is intangibly unique to you. And so I love that, because we have all these things that we can choose from. We can choose quotes, we can choose, you know, a lot of us will all copy and paste a before and after. But that first paragraph that you put about, you know what you're talking about before you say how about the person's story, that is your unique to you point of view in that story. And so anyway, I just love that. But so keeping from that point of interest, we start our 3 conversations a day. And so how do we start those conversations, or who do we talk to? And so I'm sticking with Michael Burke because he was just awesome. So this is from the intentionality. But you know, we have our 100 list that we always talk about, and we have a scared list. And so he kind of broke it down even a little bit further, and he called them. He broke this down into 3 groups, and it was your help list, people who you really want to help. Number 2, your farm club, so people that have reached out to you but really haven't done anything, or they've said they're interested in changing their health, but they haven't done anything. And then a top 25, and that list is like considered like a scared list. So those people who, man, you would love to do business with, or you think if they were a health coach, how would that impact their life? And how would that change their life? So it's another way to break down a list and be reaching out to those people. So we should all every month have a list of people that we're working with and calling on. And what that does is it keeps you focused on where to put your attention, instead of just, you know, like pepper spraying out into, you know, nowhere. So anyway, so that's talking about the 3x3. And, you know, and there's our inactive clients. This is the perfect time of year to reach out and send them a Christmas card. Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh, how great would they love that, to see a Christmas card of your family. And we also send them a personal message, a Facebook personal message. Maybe it's once a month, but just on what's going on in their life. Just be interested in who they are, you know. And so then the third point is keep your current clients engaged. And so in November, a lot of orders got pushed off, and people, you know, people are feeling like, oh, is this successful? Am I being successful at this? And how we can, and you know, there's two groups here. There's the people that are still taking your call, and then there's the people who are too embarrassed to take your call because they're not doing what they feel like they're supposed to be doing. They feel like you might be disappointed. And so the group that is taking your call, you know, be open. Be open with them, and maybe a good question for them would be, hey, what do you want to have happen in December? How do you want this to look? This isn't about me, this is about you. And a lot of them will say, well, I still want to lose weight. And so you can walk them through, like, how, you know, how do you want to do that? And just really put it on them. And like Rhonda always says, teach them to be their own hero. And you do that through asking really good questions, and they will feel, and then you thank them and congratulate them and say, oh my gosh, you figured that out on your own. That's awesome. And I got this question from David Miller a long time ago, and it has just stuck with me, and it's been very successful. And if somebody can't stick with the 5 and 1 and they're feeling like a failure, I would say, you know what can you do? What can you commit to? And they can always, maybe it's a 3x3, maybe it's a 4 and 2, and it gives them structure and it helps them to feel successful. And so just keep them engaged. So then there's a group that does not answer your call, and they're like totally embarrassed, and or you know, or they're busy. They could just be busy. So I send them a video, and the video is a 1-minute message. I pull the information always from either Dr. A's blog, or I open up the Habits of Health book and find it there. So Dr. A says it's so great all the time. So I always use, I take it right from the source and send them a 1-minute video. And I always get positive feedback from those, no matter what it is. Everyone's like, oh, thank you for sending me that. I appreciate to know that you're thinking of me. So anyway, that's what I wanted to touch on. And yeah, thank you for letting me share, Debbie.
That was really great. Oh, I got all kinds of ideas from that, Carla. I'm busily taking notes here as you're speaking. Thanks for sharing that. You know, Carla, I'm gonna really put you on the spot and ask you, would you, in the next day or so, go on to Our Team Thrive and put an example in there of a 1-minute message that you would send to somebody that's not connecting with you, just so we can kind of hear how you would do that. Somebody that's really experienced with connecting with those people that are trying to hide. But they'll listen to our messages. I agree with you. They just maybe don't want to talk to us. Okay, very good. Hey, Jessica Ward, could you unmute yourself and come on next and talk about how we should be our brand?
Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Sorry, I'm in, I would say, the closet of the weight room. So you can do it from anywhere, right? So I'm going to talk about being your brand and help you kind of get to thinking about, you know, these holidays are coming up and you're going to have friends and family that you're going to be meeting with, you know, start thinking about how you're going to start conversations with them. Really, I want you guys just to be personable, be consistent, be out loud, and be attractive. With these events that you're going to, you know, again, think about, you know, how are you going to specifically talk to someone about, you know, their health, you know, a friend or family member. It may be a little bit difficult for people to do. I wanted to talk about some do's and don'ts of things that you can talk about with them during and after the events too. Things to not do. Don't use shame when talking to them. Don't force the issue, as it can be a slow process. Just because they don't want to talk about their health with you right now, it doesn't mean that they're not going to come to you later. It's time to plant the seeds. Do not frame the discussion around weight and food. Do not offer helpful weight loss hints. It's not the right time. They don't want that right now. Don't monitor their food or their exercise. Do not judge. You may not truly know what is going on in their life right now, and this is more of a time to talk with your family and your friends. That's why you're getting together with them. Things to do. Remember, your loved ones may already feel ashamed, even if your loved one jokes about their weight. This does not mean that they are comfortable with their body. Be sensitive and thoughtful in your words and your approach. Do speak to them about health and feelings, not about the weight and food. Use empathy and active listening. Speak with love and respect, and do look beyond their faults. Next thing I wanted to talk about is, you know, holiday traditions. We have things, baking events. You know, can we adjust those? An example would be, instead of having, you know, the bake-a-thon cookie palooza that you would have, can you do something else? Could you put together a care package for the homeless? Instead of, you know, spending money on expanding your waist belt, expand your heart to help others. Some other useful ways to brand yourself, going back to the branding for these holiday parties, is a lot of what we had talked about over Thanksgiving. You know, choose that sparkling water instead of alcohol. Eat before you come and don't overindulge. Make items that you know that you can eat, be it at your house or your friend or family's house. Choose a smaller plate to eat off of. Go through the food line first without your plate so that you can, you know, have a good game plan of what you will be eating. Another fun thing is plan for a walk, a run, go to Cascade if you're around there, and work out before the party, and invite your friends and family members to come with you and have that pre-funk, let's say, time before you are at that party. Last, always remember, this is a health and wellness business. You own a health and wellness business, and you should treat it like that. When you first start a business, who is usually your first customer? Your friends, your family members. They're your biggest cheerleaders. They want to support you, and what better way to do that than to help them get healthy too? Like I said, it may not be right now, but if you lead by example, you love and respect them, you're personable, you're consistent, you live out loud and are attractive, they will come over time. And then to end, I just want to, you know, bring this out to everyone in Team Thrive. If you have an idea of, you know, a conversation starter with friends or family members, put it up on Team Thrive so that we can all work off of each other and get great ideas to help people during this holiday season, and especially help the ones that we love the most. Greetings from my closet.
Wow, Jessica, there's so many great things there. You know, if we take that do list, there's lots of great tips there to share with your clients. Ways to, you know, we always tell them one of the 80% of their success in going to these events is going with a plan. She just gave a whole bunch of really great tips that you can pass on to your clients on how to have a plan going to special events and potlucks or lunch rooms or whatever's a challenge through the holidays. So thanks so much for that. So the next topic is a topic we actually haven't had on any of our Zooms before. I can't think of one I've ever heard on this topic in 6 years of being a coach. And Mark, you get all of 3 or 4 minutes to just bust it out and let us know. But you guys all own your own business. Congratulations to all of you. That's really an amazing thing. But a question, have you been saving to pay your taxes? Because I assume you made some money. So Mark's going to give us some tips on ways to best be ready to be put on our CEO hat and do this right.
Hey, you guys, can you hear me okay?
Perfect.
Well, first of all, the presentations tonight have been hard-hitting, quick, great points. You guys have just done a great job with it. What I'm going to share with you a little bit is something that my friend Wes Holt shared. Wes is a certified financial planner. He calls himself a financial health strategist. He's I think at least a global director. He's been involved in Optavia for a long time. He's just a great guy. He presented intentionality. So one of the things that he did is he kind of went through let's just pick a model business. Let's just say you're right now you're grossing $2,000 a month. Some of you would be higher, some of you would be lower, but let's just pick $2,000 a month. That's 100% of your income right now. And what Wes is saying is let's take 5% of that as profit and let's have some fun with that. So that would be $100. So you'd set $100 aside, and that's your play money. That's your reward for just working hard and doing a great job. $1,000, he was putting 50% of your total gross income as a wage, so that the owner of the business would draw out $1,000 a month in wages, and then he would have $300 a month, or 15% of your gross would be for taxes. And if we don't set that aside, we're going to get the first quarter surprise. And even though we're making more money, a first quarter surprise is never a good thing because that requires cash to pay the IRS. So we always want to set that money aside. So what Wes would recommend is that we have a separate account and that we always set 15% aside so that we always have that, because it's easy to get involved in a business and think this is all my money, but it really isn't. So you want to set that aside and treat it like that. And one way to do that would be to have a separate bank account for it that you set into your tax account. But the other thing to do is make sure that you have a separate credit card, because that separate credit card runs everything through your Optavia business through that credit card. And at the end of the year, you have all your receipts together. You have everything that you need to file your taxes at the end of the year. Now, that being said, I'm not a financial planner. I'm not an accountant. I'm not a tax attorney. So you need to refer back to your own professional that's helping you with your information on this. But those are some great things to consider. And then the last thing, which would be the rest of your money. So out of the $2,000, take 100%, $100 for fun money. That was your play money. That was your profit. $1,000 for your wages, $300 for your taxes. And the rest would be about 10 to 30% of your gross would be for your expenses. And expenses, you say, well, I don't really have an office. You have a phone. You have some things that are deductible through your professional, your financial professional. You can kind of figure out what those things are. But one of the things in those expenses that I would highly recommend that you set aside would be some money for your conventions, for your conferences, for your continuing education, so that it doesn't come as a surprise. You know, we know that December 25th every year is Christmas. And so it should be no surprise if we didn't save for it that we have a challenge. And we know that the conferences, you know, it's going to be in July, and we want to go to it because people that go to conferences just tend to do. So set some money aside and be ready for that. The last thing I'd like to just kind of encourage you on is This typical results not typical. I'm going to say that in the beginning. But one of the things that we were handed out at the intentionality conference was just some random. It's education only. It's not to be used. I can't pass this on to you. I can't show it to you and show you what there's no names on it. But just to give you an idea, an executive director with a frontline volume, $6,000, just total frontline volume, $1,900 a month in income. An executive director with frontline volume of 9,600, group volume of $13,000, $3,300 a month, $3,200 a month. An executive director with a little bit more frontline, a little bit more, $3,600 a month. And then the numbers go up from that, you guys. That's where they started. So it's just, this is a really encouraging opportunity for them. Treat it like a business. It can make some really significant money, and it can cost you some significant taxes at the end of the year if you aren't prepared. That's it.
Thanks. Wow. Yep. Good words of wisdom there. Got to take care of the business part of this and be prepared. I like that. Set aside not only your tax money, but your convention money. That's really good, because we want to be able to go. National convention is Orlando in July. We'll get those dates out to you guys before too long, because you're just gonna want to be there. It's great to be with other, like-minded coaches, and the education is off the charts. So.
And it's a lot of fun.
It is just a lot of fun.
So much fun. Anybody dances, it's fun.
Yeah. And we do our own little team thing there. We'll probably have, 30 coaches there or something, our own little Team Thrive South this year, you guys. And then we'll combine up with Team Synergy. It's great. So we'll keep you posted on that. Well, I want to thank all of you that put together information for us today. I thought it was super fun. I hope everybody has a few takeaways that you can go back and you really can feel like you could implement. And before I sign off, I have a little potpourri. I call it Run Sweep. I'm going to Run Sweep, and I have a couple little things that I want to mention. Also in our Team Thrive page, we put in there, it's called the Dash Incentive. So the company has put together an incentive for us. So on top of all of your commissions and your monthly bonuses and all that kind of thing, there's a whole chart. And it started December 7th. Between December 7th and December 23rd, you bring on 5 clients, you get an extra $250 bonus. If you double that and you do 10 clients, you get another $250 for a total of an extra $500. And it just goes up from there. It goes up to, I think, $2,700. So there's just, I don't know, for those of you that are competitive and kind of like games, that's kind of a fun way to get some extra rewards in there. You'll want to take a look at that in Team Thrive. Also in Team Thrive, if you haven't done your personality profile yet, you can message me privately or your coach, or you can dig through our thread. Go find that. Right now we can do them free for the next couple of weeks, and then the opportunity is gone. And in addition to that, there is a 20-minute video by Wayne Pendle, and that's really important that you watch as well. That will help you understand, okay, great, I did this profile, now what do I do with it? You get like a 50-some page report for doing your profile. But it'll help you understand your personality, and it'll give you very specific tips on how to talk to the other personality styles and how to recognize who is what kind of a personality style. So really, really encourage you to do that. One of the things that he said that really stuck with me is like, those people that, just kind of bug you, just talking to them, just kind of like bugs you. Trust me, you're bugging them. My own little arrogance, I thought about them bugging me. I didn't think about the fact that I was bugging them. I'm going to work on that. Another thing really quick, Carla talked a lot about, makes me think of the old song, make new friends, but keep the old. Some are silver and the others gold. As we're doing 3x3, 3x3, 3x3 networking at family events and parties, and we're bringing on new clients. Hey guys, the only way to really have that snowball grow, like Doug showed the snowball on our opening slides there, is to keep what you've got. Keep a stable base. Take care of those clients. Reach out to the ones that fell off the cliff. Pull them back onto the team, and then add the icing. Make that snowball grow by finding the new clients in there. It's super important. And when you're talking to people, Carla could have as well, but Ron has shared a couple things on Saturday mornings trainings about asking people questions when you're doing your check-in calls. But don't say, so how was your week? Because what they hear is, what'd you do wrong? Were you perfect? And that's not really where you want to go. Her suggestion was opening it up with, Oops, where's my page? Here it is. Tell me one thing you're really proud of this week. Wow, what a positive conversation starter with people. Gets them going on the right foot. And then if there is something that they need to deal with, they fell off, they have something they want to talk about, you know, if you wanted to go back and change that, how would you do it different now? So practicing that art of asking questions, and I wish we had more time to talk about that now. Maybe in the next month or so, we can put together a special training on the art of asking questions because it's super, super powerful. The last thing I want to show you that I just learned on Saturday, and it blew my socks off. I was so excited. If you were on the training on Saturday morning, 7 a.m., would you put another 1 in the chat so we can see who was there? Because I'll tell you what, I thought it was really one of the best trainings that we've had. Good. Well, it looks like a lot of you were on there. That's really great. Okay. So I want to show you a tip that one of the coaches, and unfortunately I can't even remember who it was, shared with us. That was a game changer. You know how when you want to go do your 3x3, but you can't schedule them. You have to, like Christy Morfitt was telling us at the last time. No. Oh, yes.
Sure. Cool.
Christy Morfitt was talking.
Just hit stop.
Oh, sorry. I'm a newbie here. I'm in training. Anyway, Christy Morfitt was talking about how with her busy full-time job life, how she still did her 3x3. She'd do 1 in the morning with her coffee, 1 at her lunch break, and 1 at night while fixing dinner. Well, an idea was shared that makes it a whole lot simpler than that. So I want to get rid of that one. So this is my Facebook page. And if you want to go, I put a little quick message on there for you guys today. So where's my glasses? That'll help. Okay. So if you wanted to post a post and you did your creative work, when I'm feeling creative, I could do like 7 or 8 posts at once, but you can't post them all at once. It's figured out how to save them. That's challenging. Well, if you have a picture you pop in there and you've connected with it, you've written your words just right, but you don't want to share too many of them all at once. If you have the post ready, let's see, and say that's what I was going to post today. So that's our example in there. See down at the bottom here, the little 3 dots for more menus. Okay, now slide it up. Okay, yep. See where it says public? We always want to do our posts public because that's how it's not just our news feeds. It'll go into our friends' news feeds and it just gets spread all over the internet that way through Facebook. But where it says public, if you are creating a bunch of them, do 1 public and throw it out there. Do the rest of them only me. And then you can share them. And you'll have a collection of all these only me, only me, only me posts. And if you go back into those posts, just like we just did, and switch it back to public, which, let's see, where's the right bar? Anyway, if you just take that and then switch it back to public, you can post them anytime you want. But you could have a whole bunch of them in the only me queue, switch it to public, and post it. And then they'll go, and your friends will be able to see them. Anyway, so that is one last little tip that I just thought was so amazing that I heard on Saturday. With that, hey, you guys, have a really great week. Next week, we're going to be back on Dr. A's call at 5, Team Synergy at 5:30. We'll be talking to you more in our Team Thrive thread. Please feel free to interact and post, comment on posts so we can really build community with each other, okay? Love you guys. Have a really great week. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. Let's go help a bunch of people.